Alrighty, hope everybody's had a great Friday. It is Friday night. We're just gonna chill out tonight because I just really didn't feel. I didn't feel this week like playing Division 2, and I didn't have a plan for another game to get started in. So we played some One Finger Death Punch 2 on Tuesday. Of course, we played Warframe on Wednesday. That's our normal Wednesday game. And tonight we're gonna jump in. Sorry, a little bit of a cough there. We're going to jump into some Stellaris. For those that don't know Stellaris, it is a wonderful strategy game from Paradox Interactive. And I'm not even going to try to. But it's a great sci-fi strategy game. Space exploration, trying to take over the galaxy. We're going to start off. Once I get. Okay, we'll have to check the camera positioning to make sure it's not covering up important parts of the UI, but we'll get into that once we get into the game. So Stellaris is sci-fi space exploration, trying to take over the galaxy. 4X, for those that are familiar with the term, but so I don't even remember what the 4X's stand for, but exploration, expansion, economics, and something I don't remember. But it's a really good game, a lot of fun to play. So we're gonna jump into it. Of course, I do have Pokemon Sword waiting in the background for me, but that'll be for after stream. I would have streamed it on. I would have played it on stream tonight, but I don't have my setup set up for playing from the Switch, and I didn't want to rush trying to get that set up. So maybe we'll play that another time down the road, a second playthrough or so. We will see. We'll see how things go. For now, we are going to jump into a new game. There we go. We're just going to do random. So we will randomize the Empire. I'm just using in-game music. I know I said I wasn't going to do that anymore, but I really like the soundtrack for this, and I think it's epic enough. If it ends up being an issue in terms of stuff, then if we play again, I'll go back to Pretzel Rocks. But so I'm gonna go with a slightly larger. I'm gonna turn down the AI Empires just a touch. The rest of this pretty much going to let it roll. We are going to play on Iron Man, which means it saves at the beginning of every year. You cannot save any other time, and the only thing you can do is continue your game. You can't load. Like, if something goes wrong, you can't load from your last save. Basically, if something goes wrong and you lose, you just lost. Your save is erased once it loads. So it's technically there's ways to save scum it, but and if it were different other types of games, I would actually do that. For this, I don't. We're just gonna stick with an elliptical. Spiral arms tend to get a little messy. I mean, it can make things fun, but since we don't know who our empire is going to be and what our travel restrictions are going to be, let's not make it any harder than it has to be. And again, this first off, I did play a little bit while I was on my oh god, we're moth people. This should be interesting. We are an enlightened monarchy. We are a xenophile. Xenophile militarists, spiritualists. We're environmentalists, and we have a philosopher king. Our traits are we prefer alpine, so that's our preferred world type. We are adaptive, so our habitability of planets is plus 10%. We are nomadic, so we have a lower cost to resettle and a higher population growth from immigration. We are conservationist, which means our consumer goods, our consumer good upkeep every month is reduced. And people don't like us. We're considered repugnant. Personally, I think we look rather cute, but yeah, I guess it's not for everybody. Obviously, the game starts off paused. First thing we need to do is we need to set up our research. So, first thing we have to do is hit begin. Then we have to set up our research. There are 3 branches of research: physics, society, and engineering. You have scientists. Scientists have different traits. These 2 scientists, for example, have a research speed of plus 10%. This scientist has a lifespan of an additional 25 years, so he's going to live longer. For each branch, you will have 3 things that you can choose from. There are things that you can get that will increase that later. So you'll have more to choose from, but this, for example, will unlock a different path, which will unlock other research options that may come up on your randomized list of things to research. Physics researchers from researchers is plus 20%, which increases your research rate for physics. And this unlocks a component, improves deflectors, so improves your shield technology on your ships. So we're militarist. I'm gonna go with blue lasers straight off the bat. And again, that is randomly selected from, those are 3 randomly selected items from the list of things that you have available on the overall tree that you can't see, which I think is an interesting way of doing things. Monthly Unity, which Unity helps you do certain things, such as build certain structures require Unity, or certain structures or edicts or governmental actions require Unity to do. I don't tend to do a lot of those. Of course, society research from researchers, plus 20% for society, and unlocks hydroponics farm and hydroponics bay, which increases your food production on planets and space stations. So, of that group, I really don't like any of them, but we'll start off with hydroponics because we may need food. I don't know. We can always change it later. That will anything you change will be on the list the next time you can choose, and any progress you've made in researching it will stay. So there's no real downside to changing it. It's just not. Obviously, if you're jumping around all the time, you're never finishing anything. Okay, so again, we have the improved research for engineering. Corvette hull points increases the durability of ships. Basically Tech 2 metal armor, which also increases the durability of ships. I didn't point this out on the other ones, but these symbols are the type of research that it is, and if you have a researcher that is focused on, say, Voidcraft, that means the research for that skill will actually go faster because, speaking of which, we do have a science ship here. It usually has a scientist assigned to it. Okay, but he's a roamer. He surveys he surveys galaxies. One change that they have made since I originally got the game is your home system is now already surveyed, so you already know all the things in it. But anyway, I'm gonna go with armor first because it's actually a lower point cost, so I'll actually get it faster. Part of me cringes because the Corvette hull points would be nice, since I start off with nothing but Corvettes. Across the top, you can see here we have energy credits. This is the main thing that you spend to do pretty much anything. You can consider this your money. You have minerals, food, consumer goods, which are created on planets. Well, there's other ways to create them too, but it's generally created on your colonized planets. Alloys, which are also produced, usually produced on factories. You can find actual alloy deposits, but usually it is it's a refinement of minerals. So you have factories dedicated to refining minerals into alloys, but you also need minerals. So you don't want to refine all your minerals. Influence. Certain things will require influence, such as putting down a star base or an outpost. This is your unity, which, as I said, certain governmental actions will cost unity. This is your research, so you can see how much research in each of the 3 different fields you are generating every turn, every month. This is not turn-based. This is a real-time once you unpause it. So real-time with pause. These are exotic resources that you can require. Certain things will obviously require exotic resources. If you don't have them, you can't make those. Your Empire Sprawl is a representation of basically how much governing ability your empire requires. Our Sprawl is currently 13. We are capable of maintaining up to 30. So that's something to watch for as we expand, because if our sprawl exceeds our administrative capacity, then certain things like upkeep and ship upkeep and various other upkeeps start going up, which means we'll start running out of money, minerals, and other things very quickly if we're not careful. This is how many systems we control. We control 1 star system, and we control 1 planet. We have an empire population across all of our systems and planets of 24. We have 1 starbase. We have a capacity of 3, which means once we've built our 3rd starbase, again, we can build more than that, but we start taking penalties in terms of upkeep and what's the word I'm looking for? Logistics. And same thing with our naval capacity. We have 3 ships. We can maintain a fleet of 20 at max without penalty. If we build 25 ships, for example, we can do that, but maintaining them long term is going to become a burden very quickly. You also have additional capacities in terms of Titan class and Colossus class ships, which obviously that's late game stuff and we're not going to get to probably tonight. So the first thing I am going to do is I'm going to go out to the galaxy map. This is our galaxy. So big place, a lot of stars to explore, and we're going to get started. Now my assumption is at the moment, since I haven't really taken a look at our empire very closely, but I haven't seen, my assumption is that we are using warp drives. Go to ship designer, that'll tell me. Chemical, yeah, we're using standard hyperdrives, which means you see these lines, those are hyperlanes. Hyperdrives can only travel along the hyperlanes, which means if I go here, it's a dead end. which is not necessarily a bad thing, but and actually it may not be, because when we go out to these, we may find other hyperlanes. These are just the hyperlanes that we can sense within our sensor range. Although, given the fact that we have hyperlanes out to here, I would imagine that if there were any here, we would probably see at least them coming off. Like, you can kind of see some ones coming off of here that we don't technically know where they go to. I would expect we would have something like that at the very least out here, if there were any hyperlanes. Right now I'm going to tell this guy to go out here and survey the system. Explore the system just means to go there. You just goes to the unknown system. Survey the system means go to each planet and find out what's there. Like you can see here, we know that there is a planet that gives 2 engineering research. There's a planet that gives 3 physics research, a planet that gives 2 minerals, and a planet that gives 2 energy credits per month. We can mine those. We have to build them, which is the next thing I'm going to do, which is go back into here. And we have a construction ship, so I'm going to tell him. Now, I can only do this, so I got to kind of watch. Now, you can see we already have some stuff built in that we already have a mining station there collecting 5 energy credits. Now, so the first thing I am going to build is I'm going to come over here and build a mining station on this one to collect these energy credits, because as you can see I'm collecting 5 energy credits, but I'm only getting 2 energy credits a month. So that means of that 5 I'm spending 3 of it. So I need to get my energy credits up, because if you run out of that, eventually you just essentially go into bankruptcy, and that's a bad thing. But as you can see, I now have no minerals in my stockpile. The one thing I haven't done is I haven't gone down to the capital. This is our capital. We have a governor down here. You can hire different governors. You can have one governor can govern several planets. That may or may not be a good thing. We have a population of 24 on the planet. We have an open building slot, which means we can build something here. We also have districts that we can build. This has changed since I started, but since I originally played. And we can see down here that we have no deficit, and our planet is producing more than it needs. This is a good thing. It is also producing a trade value of 9. Currently we don't have any trade routes, so that's not doing me any good, but it will later. As we can see, our population is all of us, because this is our homeworld. You can also kind of see here what jobs there are and what jobs are filled. We currently have no available jobs, which means if our population grows, they're going to be unemployed. Not a great thing, but not the end of the world. But it will be something that we have to try to manage. We want to try to keep... While you don't want a whole bunch of empty jobs, you also don't want a whole bunch of unemployed people. So we're good on that. You also have armies that protect your planets from invading armies. So we have a couple of armies here that are here already. I'm not going to mess with them. We can, of course, potentially build armies, but I think you have to have a base on the planet first. Sorry, again, things have changed since I really played. You can see there's also what they call blockers, which these block out district areas, so that you can't build districts in them until you clear the blocker. For this, for example, the blocker takes 120, not sure if that's I think that's 120 months, and 300 energy credits to clear. I don't have 300 energy credits, so I can't do that. And when we clear it, we will actually create a population. And it will unblock certain things. We also have a couple of things that are giving us improvements. We have a frozen gas lake, which gives us additional generator districts that we can build. Generator districts obviously make power. They also produce certain job slots. Orvane Cliffs increases our mining districts. So this is actually going to probably be a largely power generating planet for us. But we're not going to do any of that right now. We're going to unpause the game. So the game is running. We have a new Crown Prince. We can erase that message. So as you can see, our science ship is going out here to go explore the unknown system. We have a... Sorry, that was our... Where is our... There's our space station. We have a space station here. It currently has crew quarters, which lowers our docked ship upkeep, which our military fleet is currently docked. We have a trade hub here, which allows us to actually establish trade routes, and we have a shipyard here. Shipyard, of course, meaning we can build ships. Currently, of course, we only have base ships. Let's see. We currently have an interceptor. I am going to make
construction
a missile
complete.
boat. We've completed our mining station, so yes, as you can see, we have more energy. Actually, I'm going to go with lasers. Put a laser there, and missiles there, because that's what a missile boat is for. I'll throw a reactor booster on it, because I may not need it, so I may take that back off to decrease the cost of the ship. I tend to be more of a shield guy, but we may change that depending on, since our new tech is going to be a level 2 armor. Now it looks like we probably do not need that. No, we do not. So, I mean, I can't make changes. Oh, that's why. There we go. So, sorry about that. I was trying to change an existing... Okay. Made a startling find in the other system. The planet is teeming with alien life. For the first time in history, we have encountered life forms that did not generate on Greater Kyrus. Probably horribly pronouncing that, but it doesn't matter. It's a made-up world anyway. The amazing discovery has silenced those who believe we are alone in the universe, although none of the alien creatures found on Jugrad 3 are sapient. It is likely only a matter of time before we encounter beings that are. We may not be alone out there. Well, we may not be alone out there is the only choice that I have at this particular thing. Now, this particular event gives me 116 points of society research. So that will increase my society. And I believe I determined I did not need power amplifier. Yeah, see, I've got... Oh, well, I haven't put the missiles on, that's why. Although those shouldn't take much power, yes. But yes, I do not... My power usage is 0, which for a ship is actually fine. What? Excuse me. Can't remove last design, but you won't let me save a new design. What is up with this? I've actually figured this out once before and I don't remember what it was. Ah, there we go. Stop auto-generating designs. Excuse me. Okay, try this again. Missiles. Lasers. And there's no real reason for putting them in particular places, I just... Why are you not letting me... This is rather annoying. Okay. There, I'll just use a generated name. I don't generally like doing that because I then have to remember what is what. Oh, one thing I do, auto upgrade that. Save. Sorry, save, yes. But why is it not letting me type? Let me backspace, but not type. It's very bizarre. Okay, we'll worry about that later. Unpause the game. I'm suspecting that there is something else that is... There we go. I don't know what that was about, but... Contact report. Simple forms of life. The Romulan Empire Kingdom is abuzz with news of alien organisms discovered some time ago. Theologians have been partaking in arcane rites since this first sign that divine providence extends outside Greater Chaos, attempting to find new answers. Doesn't really do anything, but... There we go. Now I can delete that one because it's the same. Auto upgrade, save. Get rid of that one. Yes. Okay. The First League. We have recovered artifacts from an ancient alien civilization on Jogrand 6. Sorry. Roman numerals. I'm not quick with Roman numerals sometimes. That we have learned from these artifacts. If what we have learned from these artifacts is correct, the civilization was some sort of confederation that consisted of many different alien races that called themselves the First League and appear to have coexisted in relative peace somewhere some 2 million years ago. Although Jogrand system lies in the region of space that appears to have made up the core of their territory, a partial map found among the artifacts indicates that this First League may have covered a significant portion of our galaxy before its eventual collapse. This will most likely start... Yeah.
Situation log updated.
This starts an event chain, so we go to our situation log. We need to cover 6 First League artifacts. We don't know where they are. So, we haven't found any anomalies. We're, of course, probably very low on the totem pole. The next thing I am going to do is I'm going to allow a construction ship here to build... Actually, I'm getting a good... So I'm going to go build a research station and then build a research station. Now I have a habitable planet here. Now note, it says that I can't colonize a world that's not inside my borders. That's because I would have to build a outpost out here first. Which I may or may not do. I want to see what else is in the area. Because that, well, that is a good good option for expanding my colonies. It is very close to my homeworld, and so not necessarily the best. Not necessarily the best choice, so I want to see what else there is before I make a final decision on that. We will almost definitely build an outpost out there, just because I'll need to do that anyway. Although at the moment, the only thing out there other than the planet. Intelligent life taunts with pointed absent, reads a popular Newsnet post on Greater Curus. The people of Garamulan Kingdom are apparently finding some humor in the fact that lower forms of alien life are now a matter of public record, but potential equals from other stars continue to elude us. The report on the traces of alien life that were recently found seemingly only add an ironic twist to the situation. Again, that's nothing spectacular. Now, we know this is we know this has at least 6 planets because we got something about Jagaron 6. I am going to up the speed a little bit because I find that normal speed is actually fairly... this is one that comes up usually once you find your first habitable planet. You can do it or you cannot. If you don't do it, you get some unity. If you do
Situation
it, you
log
get something
updated.
else. There's no reason not to do it, it's just to find a certain number of habitable worlds. Which you will probably do eventually. I mean, you're going to be surveying a lot of star systems. That's kind of the nature of the game as you expand. Eventually you can create...
System survey complete.
And fully surveyed, yay! So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here and survey that system because it seems to be a dead end. And if that's the case, I just want to get it surveyed because once I get around to it, I'll probably throw an outpost down there just to... oh, look, habitable world. Ooh, big one too. Again, not necessarily something I'm going to do, particularly given that it's not one of our favored not one of our favored planetary types, but
Initiating tactical retreat.
excuse me, has encountered a hostile hijacked fleet and is currently attempting to evade them. Nice. The Fist of God. Centuries ago, a group of radical priests and their devoted followers on Greater Curus broke away from the established religion to form their own church. These extremists called themselves the Fist of God and have been responsible for many atrocities and acts of terror over the years. Although they have kept a low profile in modern times, we recently learned that many of their agents have infiltrated our military. These renegades have secretly been diverting resources to the construction of a small fleet of starships at a hidden facility on Greater Curus. When their treachery was revealed, the cultists blasted into orbit and their ships fled.
Situation log updated.
Okay, well, that changes plans. As you can see, ships require alloys to build.
Construction complete.
There are traditions available now. Traditions are, if you've ever played Civilization, it's very similar to the system in there. to up that straight off. Because we're xenophiles, which means we like other... I'm gonna upgrade my fleet, not
Our
that it's actually
ships
gonna
have
change
been made
much,
superior.
other than that they're... And now we're going to go find these wonderful people that have decided to cause us problems. And we're going to end their existence.
Anomaly found.
Ooh, challenging. Signs of a battle. We will leave that be for now. Something like that you can always come back to later. So now if we pull this up, you can see the balance of power at the top is slightly in our favor, red being enemy, green being us.
Anomaly found.
I found another anomaly. This is a very hard. Will take 2,000 some odd months. No, leave that be for now. We'll come back to it. Okay, our valiant space forces have skillfully disabled the ship, and the cultist armada is mostly intact, and we're picking up faint life storms from the side as whole. Once we have eliminated all threats in the immediate vicinity, we should conduct a boarding operation to secure any survivors. You'll be able to tell us more about the ultimate motives of the Fist of God.
Situation log updated.
Meanwhile, my ships have been damaged and can be repaired, which is what I'm going to tell them to do. Okay, we have... we need a military ship, which we'll have once they get done doing their research. One thing I do need to do is, because I noticed I don't have a leader for my armada, I need to fix that. I need to recruit an admiral. Now again, admirals have traits. The Trickster has emergency FTL damage risk of -15%, so if he has to suddenly run away in the middle of a fight, he has less of a chance of taking damage from emergency FTL. And he has a 25% greater chance to being able to disengage. A fleet logistician lowers the upkeep of the ship of my ships, and a cautious increases the ship's weapon ranges. At the moment, I'm going to recruit the guy who's going to lower my upkeep costs, and I'm going to put him in charge of my current armada. Go back to unpausing, let our ships get repaired, and then go board the ship.
System survey complete.
Okay, now we know what's out here, which is there's a lot of mining out here and a couple of very high level anomalies. Yow! So hopefully we'll get a scientist that can get up and take those on, but right now, and you can see there's actually two really good mining worlds out here, so this will definitely be an outpost probably in the near future. Now my science ship, I want you to go survey that system. And ultimately then survey that system. Go ahead and just give you the orders, it'll be easier. Unpause the game and let things get moving. Now my fleet has been fully repaired, so I can grab that military fleet and go out here and go research project. And they will begin researching that by boarding the vessel and advancing that particular side quest. I'm going to go down here and I'm going to make another alloy factory because
Special project complete.
though the survivors offered stiff resistance, our boarding party was able to secure several prisoners from the disabled cultist starship. From them we have learned that the conspiracy goes far deeper than initially suspected. The agents of Fist of God include several flag officers and high-ranking officials within our government. Mass arrests are being made on Greater Curus, and all assets belonging to the cult have been seized. However, several of the starships they built in secret remain unaccounted for, and the upper echelons of the cult's leadership have vanished. We have picked up faint ion trails leading to several outlying systems. We must pursue these terrorists. Pause that for a second. Go to my situation log. Cancel, I didn't want to rename the system. Okay, so those are the areas that we think those seem to be the systems we think they escaped to. I find it interesting that we think somehow we tracked them out to a system that we don't know how to get to. Yeah, you know how it is. So I am going to tell these guys to return to base. Then once they're back in orbit, once they're back in dock, I will actually build another Corvette. And what is my construction ship doing? Missile boat. Leader has gained a level. So my scientist that's out surveying has gained a level. Yay. That was one other thing I wanted to do. Ship designer. New design.
Construction
defensive platform. Defensive platforms. The starting defensive platforms have two sections. So you can mix and match different types. Hey, Autofire, thanks for the lurk. You can mix and match different types of things. So you can put, say, example, a light station section with a point defense station section. So give yourself both some firepower and some defense for your station. These are built on the starbase. So as we go here, throw 2 red lasers and 2 mass drivers on that. And then for point defense, we're probably actually I have 2. Again, we'll do the same thing: 2 flak batteries and 2 sentinel point defense. as those will help with different. I don't because I think flak batteries are predominantly used against fighters, and I don't think we're going to run into too much of that, but there's no telling. And we've got plenty of power, so I don't. The only thing I can put in the auxiliary is reactor booster, and there's just no point in it. I'll set this to auto upgrade. Call it light defense because it is a light defense, as opposed to say a light or something else. The reason I put this to auto upgrade, that means anytime I make a technological increase that would change either a weapon or something down here, it will automatically upgrade the build, and I can just tell my space station to upgrade it. I actually wanted to build a light defense class. It takes 240, which I have, so we're just going to go ahead and do that. The reason I'm doing that is because sooner or later I'm going to run into things that want to kill me, and I want to have some defenses in place before that happens. So, okay, we've got some trade value out here.
Construction complete.
So I probably at some point will want to take advantage of that. Now I have 5 ships. Oh, see, now I have unemployed population, so I need to do something about that. Well, actually, the chances are the building of the alloy factory will fix that problem. So I'm just going to leave that be at the time being, because I'm doing fine. My construction ship is done. There is still some mining to be done here, so let's go ahead and get that built.
Construction complete.
And then we will worry about
System survey complete.
starting to expand our empire. Oh, yeah, okay, I did. Very good. Cultist marauders encountered. Yet another cultist fleet. Loyal to Fistigod has been sighted in the Fidhalam system. This time, however, their numbers include a strange ship of unfamiliar design.
Initiating tactical retreat.
Yes, yes, please do.
Construction complete.
Yes, please, thank you. Finish the construction queue. Okay, they're listed as attack of 304. My fleet is currently listed as 200. So we need to up our fleet. We need more ships. Okay, so go to our starbase. We have a light defense build, so we have some defense should they come after us. We do not have enough alloys to build any more ships at the moment, so we will have to hold off on that. Which means we're kind of stuck for the time being, because that's a choke point for us. So,
Construction
Mr. Construction,
complete.
Mr. Science Ship, return home. There's no reason not to have you return home. Mr. Construction Ship, I want you to go out here and build. Much as I hate to, we need to get started expanding. So we're going to build an outpost out there so that we can start mining that system. Now, as you can see, we are at a We have an income of nothing for energy credits, and that is not a great thing. Our unemployed population has been taken care of, and we have one extra job, so our next population growth is taken care of. It is time for a new... But now, what do we need? We need energy, so let us build... Well, let's consider that before we do it, but a generator district. So, again, we're this little nothing empire over here. Hopefully everybody will leave us alone for a little bit while we take care of our own internal traders to for you. Oops, sorry, that's right. I need to adopt a we want open markets, empire trade value increased. We're not currently getting any trade value, so we'll go with that for now. And in 26 months we'll get a new one. You can eventually unlock all of those.
Complete.
Okay, now Mr. Construction Ship. I don't have enough minerals, so we're gonna have to wait. I don't want to return him home because then he'll just have to fly out there and that would cost me time. But the first thing I am going to do is build power. As soon as I get 100 minerals. It's not going to be much, but if I start building the two mining facilities before I build the power, then I'm going to go into a deficit situation.
Construction complete.
And that won't be good. All of my scientists just leveled up, which means they research slightly faster. How is my research going, by the way? 49, 29, so in 29 months I'll get hydroponics, which isn't going to be a great boon to me, but it's something. And we'll see what comes up in terms of available research.
Complete.
There we go. I'm starting to get a little bonus power. I can go over here and go build a mining station. Well, actually I can't at the moment. Have to wait a couple more months.
Construction complete.
The downside of having him sitting out there waiting for this to come available is that he has increased upkeep cost while he's out of while he's not docked at a station. Now, as you can see, since we built the outpost here, our borders have expanded. Now, again, we don't have any direct path to any of these stars yet. My guess is that there's going to be some, yeah, there we go, something out here will let us come out here. But that's going to be... We really need to expand fast out this direction, or we're probably very quickly going to get trapped down here. The good news is it means that there's only really one way into our home system.
Construction complete.
At least for anybody that is hyperspace based. If they're wormhole or warp based, then they can potentially jump from over here. the requirements are for those, but it's been a while since I played. A long while since I played anything that had anything other than hyperspace. But it's so yeah, basically I can put a choke. I can put a really strong defense here, and my homeworld is going to be relatively safe because anybody hyperspace wise is going to have to come through this system. And that is probably what I'll do because most of the other factions are most likely going to be hyperspace based. Now, I will probably encounter some advanced technology or advanced kingdoms later on that are not going to be hyperspace based, but chances are I'm not going to be able to go head to head against them when I find them anyway. Oops, I have enough, so get you building that. And then when you're done with that, I can have you return home to lower your upkeep cost. In the meantime, I need more ships. So I'm going to build another one of each. Now you can see here my offensive capability of my station is 635. My fleet is currently listed as 280. This will probably take me over the 300 that I need to take out this fleet.
Construction
but
complete.
We will see. Mining station is complete. You can return home for the time being, because I need to let myself build up some stuff, and then I'll build an outpost here, outpost there and there to start mining those systems. Take that. See, yeah, now our
construction complete.
Offensive capability is now much higher. So these boys will go fight the bad guys. Because I definitely want to clear that system out because, like I said, that is the choke point coming into my homeworld.
Battle is joined.
A battleship. Cultist fleet destroyed. The cultist fleet operating in the Philhelm system has been destroyed in battle. Okay, guys. Go patch up. Looks like we lost one ship. Took some significant damage on a couple of others. That'll be patched up and we can rebuild the ship that we lost. Not a big deal, but now our science ship can go back out here and survey the system. And then when you're done with that, go out here and survey the system. Now I can tell you from that icon that that is probably going to be a pulsar, which is going to have effects. So, but I am going to let things build up a little bit before I start building outposts. Repairs are complete. And now I will go ahead and... Oh wait, before I do that, I want to look at my fleet. 2, 2, Interceptors, 2
Scientific
missiles.
breakthrough achieved.
So we're currently 4 and 4. Okay, pause that. New research. Population growth, speed increase. Don't really need that right now. Naval capacity from soldier jobs. Defense army base damage plus 33%. And food from farmers increasing and unlocks a government edict which will increase my food production. Food production isn't a major concern at the moment. This does start a new path though, so I am going to grab that. That'll be finished in 90 months. I'll get this and I'll get increased armor in 20 months, so that'll be a good thing. And my lasers in 24 months, so military power is still listed over 300, so we're good there. I was going to build another interceptor class. You know what I didn't do? I didn't really check to see what type of ships. I'm assuming that they're going with roughly the same type of ships that I'm using.
Construction complete.
But while I'm thinking about it, I am going to go, not the fleet manager, sorry, ship designer, I am going to go ahead and make a new design. New Corvette, we're going to make a picket ship, which is a point defense ship. So we will put Sentinel point lasers on there, and then since we're going lasers up front, we're going to go with 2 red lasers. Actually, I'm going to go with armor on that. Defender class. And I'm going to build one of those. It's not going to have the offensive capability,
System survey complete.
but it will help in terms of catching incoming missiles and things of that nature to hopefully lower some of the damage coming in. Did I set that to auto upgrade? I think I did. Defender, yes. Okay. So that's really the only 3 I need for the time being. I'll probably build a couple of, I'll probably make a couple more defense platform designs. This is probably what we will be doing, continuing on with on Tuesday.
Construction complete.
Okay, now the thing that I do have to watch for is that I am at half my capacity. They want another interceptor. Well, I'm not giving it to them at the moment, but it probably isn't a bad idea. But right now I think we're okay. They're at 400. We'll see what the fleet here looks like, because I'm sure there's going to be one. Meantime, Mr. Construction Ship. Go build an outpost there. That'll get us some power. And then we'll go build an outpost out here and get us some power and minerals. Now we have a possibility. It's an alpine world. Again, that's only one jump out from my come from my home world. I'd really rather get something a few more jumps out. But at the same time, I don't want to wait too long before I start doing a colony ship. So that's an Alpine 14. This one is an Alpine 18, so that's currently probably my... That's a Gaia. Planet has an anomaly.
Scientific breakthrough achieved.
So we have our new armor. I tend to not use afterburners much. Increases army damage, that does do, but this, and I'd really rather do weapons at the moment. So that'll be 103, and in 4 months we'll get our new lasers, so I'll wait to do the upgrades until I can upgrade both my lasers and my armor. Since 4 months is not going to take that long. Bit, I will also hire another scientist and build a second science ship
System
because
survey complete.
we're
Construction
about to.
complete.
When you're done with that, build an outpost. Because we're about to get to a point where I'm going to have branching exploration, so I'm going to want a second science ship too.
Scientific breakthrough achieved.
And there's our lasers. Administrative AI increases the research speed of everything. Increases the speed of surveying, which is nice because obviously I'm doing a lot of surveying. Also unlocks the automatic exploration feature. I don't ever use that, to be honest. I'd rather tell my ships where to go and have some clue of what they're doing. But that's just me. Research station output plus 10%. In the grand scheme of things, that's not going to be huge because most of my research stations outputs are going to be like 3. So at the moment I'm going to go for just the overall 5% research speed increase. And the next thing I'll be getting is an increase to my population growth, which I don't particularly care for, but this is going to be another good system to build an outpost in. I do need to watch it because my sprawl is starting to go up. Now, you go survey that system, you're probably going to immediately retreat. So, I don't know why I'm bothering, but, well, I don't know why I'm bothering to tell you to survey it, because you're not going to. You're going to get there, you're going to find a hostile fleet, and you're going to leave. Told you.
Initiating tactical retreat.
Told you. Okay, now we'll do this. Yes. Battle stations, yeah, I knew they were going to be there, so that's not a big... Okay, they're not a big fleet. While we're here, they've got 3 Dagger class. They're Corvette. They're all Corvettes, so this is gonna be. They're all just lasers and armor. This in and of itself is going to be a bloodbath. But before we go to that, we will upgrade our ships. 10 ships will be upgraded for 52 alloys. And you know what? I'm thinking about it. I am gonna go ahead and build that second science class.
Our ships have been made superior.
Thank you. Okay. Time to go out and get yourself some experience, guys. It's not going to be great, but engineering research will
Construction complete.
Oh, science ship. Now, before I do that, I need to recruit a new leader. Let's see, what do we have? We have leader cost 50%, upkeep minus 50%, so basically he's eager. We have a material expertise and anomaly research speed increase, but he's fairly old. So I'm going to go with the newbie and assign him to my new science ship, which at the moment is not going to go anywhere, but...
Construction complete.
As now I'm getting to the point where I'm getting a fairly good yeah, I just wait for my fleet to show up. Hey Bo, no, lay down. Lay down. Tonka, I will take you out in a little bit. The cultist fleet operating in the Thymora system has been destroyed. Yay! We didn't lose anybody that time. You guys can go home and heal. Tonka, you need to settle, Bo. No, settle. Tonka, settle. Yes, I love you, Bo. Ouch! No. Settle. Go. Tonka, stop it. You survey that one. You... Tonka. Survey that one. Tonka, settle. Lay down. No, lay down. Just settle. You're a good boy, just settle. Go lay down. I'll take you out in a little bit. We're almost done. 20 minutes, Bo. I don't believe you need to go out that bad.
Construction complete.
Okay, Mr. Construction Ship, return home for now. No, actually... Mr. Construction Ship, go build an outpost out here. Repairs are complete, yay. As you can see, what the map is showing me is the map only shows me unexploited resources, so that I can see where I need to potentially do something. At the moment, I don't have anything that there's not a system here I want to.
System survey complete.
Good lord. I'm finding all the major anomalies. Leave for now. Those are probably all my ones for the sorry, not the habitable world. That's probably all this, but still. Okay, we got one more enemy fleet. How do we need? We need to find. Oh, we're starting to get factions. Our people have gotten to the point where they're starting to create factions. We have. They call themselves the Hierarchical Union. Their members have been pushing hard for extreme centralization of political and military power. Okay, I'm not necessarily opposed to that. Disgruntled faction will be a source of trouble, but one that is approves of the government actions could prove useful. The Church of Religious Conservatism. Members support spiritualist and conservative values. could be a problem, but probably not. Because I mean, we are, and the Alien Tolerance Institute, which have been pushing hard for friendly relations with alien species that we haven't found yet. And I do, based on the type of species we are, I was planning to go. I mean, that's why I took the, that's why I took the tradition that I did, because it gives me the option for Federation early on. So they want friendly relations, and the Silver Guard, which has been pushing hard for us to assert our military dominance over the rest of the galaxy. We'll see.
Construction complete.
Okay, but we have some serious work to do. Before you do anything, it's one of the few times I'm actually going to tell you to go in here, build that first. The research station, and then the 2 mining stations. We'll wait for you to finish that. Now, since I haven't actually, when you're done with that, survey that. Now, I would like to find some of these anomalies in a level range that I could potentially do, because they can be very beneficial. But I've never even seen a Class 10 anomaly before. Oh, and the other thing that I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to build a colony ship, just to have it ready. Yeah, my species, because it's the only one I have available to me at the moment. Because I'm going to want to have one available. I'm most likely going to want to colonize that, since I'm not finding any that are right out here. Right now, if I find some in here, I might be interested in that, but so we'll wait and see what we find. But
Anomaly found.
hey, look, research it. See, now this system is going to be a good one to grab, because it actually has alloys. You can build a mining station that actually just gets straight alloys. One thing you have to watch out for is, again, our sprawl. We have 2 external hyperlanes, which means there's 2 hyperlanes coming into our territory. For every hyperlane you have coming into your territory, you lose cohesion. Now we have more cohesion than we're losing, so we're currently 100%. But it does again get into the situation of a small Aerostat colony was found floating just above the atmosphere on Eblig 2. It appears to have been self-sufficient, and remains from several different species were found on board. As best we can tell, the colony was some kind of social experiment conducted centuries ago that ultimately ended with the colonists massacring each other. We have downloaded all the data found in the colony's limited databanks, and it gives us 118. Research for society. Because basically we learned, don't do that. You know what? You go ahead and... yeah, I'll tell you to survey it, you won't do it, but...
Initiating tactical.
Yes, please do. This is another minor fleet, so it appears that I came across the major fleet in the first system.
Construction complete. Construction complete.
You, for the time being, I want you to return because I'm not quite ready to push my expansion just yet. Again, that may change if I find a habitable world
System
up here.
survey complete.
But for the time being, now I do want to take a look at what can be built here. Civilian industries makes turns minerals into consumer goods. Commercial zones creates clerk jobs, which produce trade value and amenities. Of course, amenities keep your people happy. We're currently at 0, so we should probably consider something along those lines. Holotheaters turn consumer goods into unity and amenities. Hydroponics farm, of course, produces food. Luxury residences give you housing and amenities. How are we doing? We have plenty of housing, so we don't need housing. Precinct houses lowers crime, which I don't have crime problems at the moment. It also spawns defense armies. Research labs obviously produce research. Turns consumer goods into research. Resource silo. Clerks produce trade value and amenities. And also increases your storage, which I don't have a problem with at the moment, so I'm not going to worry about that. Stronghold. Soldiers increase naval capacity and spawn defense armies. Increases housing by 1, increased soldier jobs. And temples, priests turn consumer goods into unity and society research. Sorry, unity, society research, and amenities. Interesting. Trade value and amenities. Amenities for those that trade value and amenities. That's actually the same as with the benefit of also increasing your storage capacity. Considering temple though, because it gives me 2 priest jobs. Gives me society research, amenity, and unity. And I've got good trade value at the moment. We're gonna do that. We're a spiritualist society, so having a temple would be not a bad thing for us. Oh, and I can... Prosperity, domination. I'm thinking expansion next. Secure shipping, lowers piracy. I haven't really had a insider trading. Start working on expansion.
Situation log updated.
Okay. Recent victory in the Teta system seems to have awakened the hunter, who has now become a much more aggressive commander. He now has the aggressive trait. Good. This is my only option, which I was going to do that anyway. We have defeated the cultist forces encountered so far, but these engagements have raised a number of alarming questions. The Fist of God has been deploying far more ships than they should possibly have built in secrecy in Crater Sirius, and now they pitted a large warship of an unknown design against us. Actually, they did that several encounters ago. But where are these ships coming from? Are there more warships like the one we just destroyed? We should investigate the battle debris for answers. Now, what does the project require? A science ship. Hey, just so happens I have a science ship right here. Research project. And to my wonderful military fleet. I don't even think you need repairs. Yeah, the only thing you lost is shields. Oh, anyway, actually, military fleet, go home. Because you'll cost me less upkeep when you're home. That is something to be considered here, folks. I will probably be building a space station here. In fact, let's
Anomaly
go
found.
leave that be for now. I'm gonna have to start researching some of these anomalies, though. Cancel, that's not what I want. Um, 180 alloys, I can do that. So I am upgrading the outpost in my choke system to be
Special project complete.
let's see here. After sifting through the debris left by the strange cultist warship we destroyed, our scientists believe they may have divined the source of the ship's Fist of God has been throwing against us. Fragments from a log file mention some kind of abandoned alien shipyard discovered by the cultists fleeing Kirrus. They've been using an automated shipyard to reinforce their numbers, and they are now producing new ships from the alien templates found within the station's memory banks. This cannot be allowed to continue. The shipyard must be destroyed. Situation log, please. Where is the shipyard? Seriously? They've been flying in from out there? Okay, well,
Construction
start working on it,
complete.
but that's going to take us a while to get to. Survey that system, and then when you're done surveying that system, I want you to go survey this system. You, when you're done surveying the system you're currently surveying, I want you to go survey that system. You're going to go that way, and you're going to go that way, and we're going to see what we can find.
Scientific breakthrough achieved.
Okay, as I mentioned before, this is a pulsar, and has the effect of shield nullifications, which means any battle in this system shields will be completely ineffective. So that's something it's always good to know, so that when you're fighting the fleet that you want to, if you're going to be fighting here, you want to send a fleet that is predominantly armor based and doesn't rely on shields, and hope that your opponent is a very shield based fleet. Anyway, population growth is done. Society research, monthly unity, and gene clinics. Gene clinics, medical workers turn consumer goods into amenities and population growth speed. Again, I haven't really had a huge problem with population growth speed. We will do society research from researchers because I do need to get my research speeds up. Our next research that we finished is the research speed increase, which will be good because it'll help everything else. And then the next one after that will be the coil guns, which I don't currently use a lot of railguns, but I can start moving some of those into some more of my designs. With that, actually, I am going to call it a night, and we're going to see who's out there, who we can raid, who we can share the joy with. And we are going to take it over to our good friend Slipped Reality, who's playing Graveyard Keeper, not Creeper. Had the wonderful, met her at PAX West, and hung out with her at PAX West and at TwitchCon. Wonderful person, fellow Magic player as well. Go over there, let's show her some love, and hope everybody had a great night. We will not be on tomorrow, as I will be at DreamHack for the Stream Atlanta meetup. We will be back on Sunday for Temple of the Tenno, playing some Warframe Sunday night. In the meantime, have a great time, stay positive and keep smiling, and enjoy Slipped Reality playing Graveyard Keeper.